Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the show. John Henry Soto here with you as always in Nashville, Tennessee. It is 7 a.m., June 11th, 2026, and we're going to dive right in. We're going to be talking about networking. Why does networking still matter? I mean, good Lord, everybody talks about networking. I mean, give it a break, for Christ's sakes. But it is important. Before we get started, just want to let you know about the Wellness Talk Show. I'm co-hosting the Wellness Talk Show. You'll see that on Sunday nights. So check that out. You can go to wellnesstalk.com and see the times in your area. And hope you enjoy that. It's going to be a lot of fun. We get to talk about obviously wellness, and we get to talk about but wellness in different areas, not just physical supplements and working out and things like that. We'll also talk about mental state, viewpoint, mindset. All those things are covered there as well. Very, very cool stuff. So hopefully we'll see you there on Sunday night. All right. So networking. Um, so this is one of those things where it gets talked about a lot. Networking gets talked about a tremendous ton in this industry, and everyone has a different opinion of how it should be done, how you should go about meeting people and networking and really building connections. Remember, networking doesn't mean just going somewhere and meeting someone, right? That's not networking. Networking is when you really get to know someone, when you really get to understand someone's what they're doing, what they understand what you're doing. You meet, you have some alone time where you can have a real conversation. That's networking. Because I think people think that you go to a networking event and you get to meet a lot of people, and you talk to a lot of people, but you don't make the connection. And this is where the where we have to, when you're really building something, you have to get your narrative and we've talked about this in the past, actually the past couple of shows, where you have to get your narrative in order, so when you actually are in a conversation with somebody, you can spit out exactly who you are in a good amount of time. You have like, you may only have like 2 minutes, right? But you have to have 2 solid minutes to say something that will get the other person to really want to continue talking to you, and it can and get interested in you, right? And networking remains still to this day one of the most valuable tools for success in the entertainment industry. Talent and hard work are important, but relationships often create opportunities that would otherwise be difficult to access. Attending industry events, film festivals, showcases, workshops, and conferences allow artists and professionals to connect with producers, directors, casting professionals, managers, and fellow creatives. This works for not just, this is all for not just directors and casting, but we're talking about music producers. We're talking about talent managers and other songwriters. Fellow creators. These connections can lead to collaborations, mentorships, and future projects that help advance a career. So that's really what you're looking for, right? You're not just looking for someone that works in the business and you just met and you have a photo op and you post it up onto your social and you say, "Hey, I met this person. He was very cool," or "She was really nice, and I was so happy to get to meet them." No, you want to be able to. I wouldn't even post a photo. I would take a photo with some people if I see them and we connect. I'll get some photos, but I would not really necessarily share those photos until there's a connection there, a real connection. So when you say something like, um, "Hey, last month I got to meet this person, and today we had lunch together, and and he's helping me get my music heard, or he's helping me with a film project that I'm working on." Something that's tangible. That's networking, right? That's the connection you want to make, right? We talk about the non-existent formula, right? And the conditions for life. And the first one is find a communication line, find a place to communicate. That's not the connection. It's just find it. You go, "I'm going to go to this networking event. I'm going to go to this casting event. I'm going to go to this blah, blah, blah," wherever it is, right? And you end up That's the first part, finding it. You found them. Now I got 10 places that I'm going to go, right? Then when you get there is you make yourself known. Make yourself known. That's number two. You have to then make yourself known. I'll say it again. Make yourself known. How do you do this? Well, like I said, have your narrative, have your story, right? You want to be a storyteller, so you got to be a storyteller, and quickly go into your story. When you meet somebody, you go, yeah, well, oh, what do you do? Oh, I'm a filmmaker, and I was born and raised in the South Bronx. I got here in Nashville about 5 years ago. I started blah, blah, and you have everything. I've written and directed 10 films. I got my own thing that I say, right? Um, and then at that point, they'll either be interested. They'll be. I've run into a lot of different things where people they can be interested, or they can be intimidated, or they can be not interested at all. You don't have enough going on for them to even want to talk anymore. Now that they're not being mean, they're there for networking for business. So it's a business thing. And once you see that, you have to be able to. Here's another thing, another piece of tool: present time. Present time is the moments of right now, right now, right now. Now, when I first said that, it's in the past now, right? I just said it. But now it's now again, and now it's now again. And you continue to stay in the now. That means that you're in present time. Your mind is in the back about what somebody said. Your mind's not in the future, as far as like, thinking about where you have to be, what you have to do, where you have to go. No, your mind is right now in the present, and you're postulating, you're putting a decision there of how you want your future to be. You see? So when you walk into a place, this is very important, by the way. When you walk into a place and there's a lot of people there and you have to confront this, you have to find what's, get yourself into the environment by looking around and getting into present time. So looking at the people, looking at the walls, really looking at the ceiling, look around your environment, know where you are. This helps so much because we go into these places and we're so nervous. And I know this again, this is all experience stuff, right? You walk into these places and you're so nervous, you're freaking out that you have tunnel vision. You're basically just looking at maybe the snack bar or the drinks where I can stand and get a drink, or I can sit down. I need a chair to sit down so I can just observe everyone. No, you walk in, you may look a little weird to people. Who cares? You walk in, know where the fire exits are in case it's an emergency. Know everything, you know, get yourself in present time. Take a deep breath, a couple of deep breaths before you go in. I do that. I take deep breaths. I take 3 deep breaths. Sometimes I do it in my car. Sometimes I do it right when I get into the venue. Sometimes I do it as I'm heading into the venue. I'm walking in there. Remember, you breathe in through your nose, out to your mouth, right? You do that 3 times, right? Not too fast in between, so you're not hyperventilating, but you do 3 times, and then you look around, get yourself in present time, and start your attack, start your day, and then start trying to meet people and trying to tell stories. You walk up to groups of people and you say, "Hey, my name is John," and you say, "I'm just listening." Just be polite. I'm just listening, and and then somebody in the group might be friendly enough to say, "Hey, what's your name?" "John Henry," and then you start your conversation, right? You have to, when you're networking, it's not just about going to a safe space to meet people. It's also about putting yourself in uncomfortable situations to meet the right people, people that can get you to the next level, people that can help you, people who believe in what you're doing. And you have to believe yourself first in what you're doing. And if you do that, then you have a good place, a good foundation to start from, right? So, another benefit of networking is staying informed about the industry trends. By engaging with working professionals and peers, artists can get insight into audience preferences, emerging platforms, and changing business models. Understanding what is happening in the industry can help creative professionals make smarter decisions about their projects, branding, and career development. This is also a really good reason to go to networking events. It may not even be an event that's going to help you per se, um, in your journey, but it's going to educate you in the journey. So you may go to an event, and there may be a couple of speakers. You're going to learn something. Walk around with a little notebook. Yeah, as you guys already know, it's a very cliche thing for me, or it's a very corny thing. But I got my book. It's my book that with all my notes and ideas and papers and scripts that I'm studying, and all the stuff in it. Go with your notebook, or get a special one just for that, because that's kind of a mess. I would probably buy a smaller one just for this event, for a networking event, and start taking notes. Whatever they say, take words that bounce out, because it's hard sometimes to write everything that they're saying, but the words that really bounce out, the ones that really shoot out and really get you, write those words down and begin the process. Bring and start listening. And at the end of the talks, maybe you can get up and talk to one of the individuals and have a little bit. But remember, it's about learning. It's about learning about the industry. So if you go to an industry event where they're talking about, what casting people are looking at now, do they need a reel? Do they need a headshot? How are the resumes now formatted? You know, um, how are castings being done now? Are they mostly being done virtually, or are people going back to in person? Um, how should we set up virtual auditions? Do they have to be good lighting? Do you need to have a plain background? Can you dress up like the character, the way that you think the character? All these things they cover at these networking events, and you can ask questions. Um, and this is probably the most important thing I could say, is that when you're there, um, really be there. Again, the present time thing is always in play, right? But when you're listening, really listen to see for the things that you're lacking. Don't just go there to get an overview of the whole industry. You went there because maybe you want to learn something. You're missing something in your business. There's something lacking. There's something that you need help with, that you need to strengthen. Go there with the idea of, like, when the person says the thing, oh, that's what I need, and you write that down, because that's what I need. I don't need the other thing. I know about lighting, about my reels. I know about certain things. I don't know about this element of it. That's what I'm interested in. So go in with the idea of, like, I really want to get information on this subject, and then listen to everything, be open to everything. And then when you hear that thing that it can help you, you write that down. Okay, very important. Networking also helps individuals stand out in highly competitive field. The entertainment industry is filled with talented people, making referrals and recommendations incredibly valuable. A trusted recommendation from someone within your network can often open doors to auditions, meetings, partnerships, and job opportunities. Building genuine relationships over time creates credibility and increases visibility within the industry. This is why you want to get these connections, because you're going to get a referral from someone, right? You might meet someone that say, you know what? I don't have anything for you now, but I got a buddy of mine who's casting a film. I got a buddy of mine who's doing this. I know this young lady who's directing her first feature film, and she hasn't finished casting yet. Why don't I put you in contact with her and see if there's something for you? You see, this is another element of the networking. You need to be in those rooms, because you never know where the opportunities come from. They don't necessarily have to come from that meeting or from being in that room at that time, but it can come from so many other places. It can even come from people who are there trying themselves. They'll be like, "Hey, I'm trying to put together something, and I have this, but I need this, and I don't know, are you interested?" And I said, well, let me read about it. Next thing you know, you read about it, you see it's something interesting, and now you have a business partnership. I did a film like that, called Unfurled, where I was the lead in this film. And it was just someone I met literally at some event. He's a filmmaker. I'm a filmmaker. He had a film. I had films. So he was in my stuff. I was in his stuff. And we worked out, and we worked, and we were very successful putting stuff together. And he helped me with a couple of projects. I helped him with a couple of projects, and it was just through meeting. We were both at the same level, but we networked and were able to put things together that matter, that I still use on my platforms, right? So you never know who you're going to meet in these things. So as you go into the networking event, you're going to have a lot of things that you're going to look for. Okay, so we're going to go over that in a minute, um, and how you do it, like how like what are the ways to effectively network in the entertainment industry. What are those ways, right? We're going to talk about that. So one of the things that we also want to cover here that I think is important is mindset. We go to these networking events with the idea that we want to meet people, we want to engage with people, we want people to get the benefit of knowing what we know, and having, and then us get the benefit from them, and there's a mutual thing. But remember that the mindset of going into this thing, the mindset is really important. You have to have a clear mindset that you're going to go in with the idea that you're going to be there for someone. You're going to be someone's solution, or someone's answer to their problems. You're going to be the solution to their, you're going to be you're going to fill the gap that they have. Going with the viewpoint that you're going in to be someone's savior of their project, right? Just have that viewpoint instead of saying, what can I get for myself? Try to go in a different way. Go in with, how am I going to help them? How am I going to bring what I know to the table that maybe can help their project? That's a much more uh, softer and much more confrontable confrontable way to approach it. This way you're not going in with like, God, I hope I meet someone. I hope I meet someone that's going to help my career. It's like that's such a must have of something, and you shouldn't have that. You should have a give. What can I give to this room? Maybe I can help somebody with their project. Maybe I can answer some questions, and that becomes a much better, stronger foundation. You also feel more confident in yourself. You feel more just stronger. You feel like, oh, yeah, I'm going to help somebody today. I'm going to be their solution. Okay. So let's go over these 5 things, 5 ways to network. So grab your pen and paper if you're interested. Number one is the obvious one: attend industry events, showcases, and film festivals. If you're a musician, you should go to a film festival too, because films have music. You'll meet people there. You'll meet people. Hey, I have music. Maybe for your next film, I can have somebody. I've done that. I've used people's films, music. I've used my own music. I've written my own music for films, but it's at film festivals. So it is a connection. There is connections there. So if there's a film festival in your area, you should go to it. You should go to it. Definitely go to industry events and showcases. Number two, join professional organizations and networking groups. There are groups out there. If you go to your Facebook page and you type in networking groups for filmmakers in whatever area you live in, groups are going to pop up, and you join them. Some of them are going to ask you a couple of questions like, where are you on your stage of filmmaking? What do you know about filmmaking? What have you done? Where have you heard about us? Never leave those questions blank. Never leave those questions blank. Those are red flags for someone who's not that interested. If you're just going around joining groups and they see that you didn't even take any time to answer any of their questions, you're not going to get into the group. And if you get into the group, then you don't even want to be part of that group. You want them to have questions. Answer those questions thoroughly. Answer them because somebody's going to read them. They do read them. Trust me, they read them. And if it's something that's interesting to them, you're going to get into the group and you're going to make a lot of connections there. So join those groups. You can join more professional ones. Like I joined, like I'm a member of ASCAP, and there's SAG. After those are bigger ones if you're into film and stuff like that. But join professional ones that do it. Every city that I can think of has a film community, and they have some type of group. If there isn't one, maybe you can even put one together yourself. But I think it's important to join one of those groups. Okay. Number three is volunteer on productions and creative projects. When you go to a networking event, number one, and you attend, always offer that help. Remember, I said go in with the how can I help? So you go into a project and somebody says, yeah, well, I'm on this project right now, but I'm a little bit, I'm stuck doing this, or I can, hey, you know what? If you need any help, let me know. I mean, I'm available. I can just volunteer to help you with your project. Just keep me posted. Let me know with enough time so I can schedule it, and I'll definitely help. And then when they do call you, help. Sometimes they call and they're like, oh no, I now I got to do this on the weekend. I have my weekend planned, or I had something. Let me see if I can work it out. Let me go help this person, and then you go and you help them and be a really good helper, and you'll get a lot. First of all, you'll meet a lot of people on set. Sometimes you meet actors that are filmmakers themselves that need somebody for their project. They may call you in. That's happened to me so many times where I'm on a film set and one of the actors or one of the ADs, assistant directors, or and everybody's a filmmaker. Everybody's got something going on. They like if you're an actor and you're performing. They like it. They like, hey, you know what? I got something coming up. I've done that many times. I've been taken from other films because they saw me in this film and they asked for me for that film. It's happened many, many times, and it's because I'm in the room. I'm in the room. Number four, use social media to connect with professionals and share your work. This is an etiquette. There is an etiquette to doing this. You don't just go around and say, "Hey, hi, my name is John. Here's my website. I'm a filmmaker," and just do that with everyone. That doesn't go over well. When when you connect with the professionals, you have to follow their career, follow their path, follow their journey, comment on what they're doing. Make comments. If you get a response back about your comment, make insightful comments. Make something that's insightful uh, uh, that would start a conversation, you know. And because it's insightful to them, they're going to remember you. So if you then say, "Great, thank you. I'm a filmmaker here as well, and I know the challenges." Now you have a connection, right? You have a little bit of connection, not a real connection, right? Not like a real connection, but you have a communication going. You have something starting, right? A little energy there. And then once it builds up, and then you continue that relationship. So it's not about just connecting with professionals and just follow, 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 follow. It's actually engaging with them and letting them know who you are, and hopefully one of them will make a comment back, and you say, hey, it'd be great do you mind if I send you my last film? I've done that. Do you mind if I send you my last film? And and if they say, yeah, send it over, you send it over, and then it becomes the process of them watching it, right? And I'm in the middle of that right now with somebody who is very big in the industry, who asked for my film. I sent it, but hasn't responded back, or maybe saw it and hated it. I don't know. But regardless, I'm still in that process right now. I'm just communicating with them. Be respectful, be mindful of their time. They're busy. So you have to keep all that in mind. That's number four. Number five, and the last one, is seek mentorship opportunities and participate in workshops. So I'm looking for right now, like, for example, I'm looking for a mentor in the film industry, but more in the management, director, a writer kind of thing. That's really hard to find. So I'm meeting people, I'm engaging with people, I'm having a good time. But see if you seek for it. Try to find somebody that can mentor you, that would be willing to, invite you on set and you just hang out. You don't even do anything. Don't touch anything, just watch. All right. Don't touch nothing. But you're like, hey, don't worry. I'm just gonna sit right here and you watch. But that becomes very valuable. And a good mentor won't do that, by the way. A good mentor will be like, hey, and let me see. I got some comments here. I volunteer at art fairs. I love it. Beautiful. I love it. I love it. Yes. But that's very important as well. So seek number five is seek mentors and participate in workshops. Sometimes there's workshops on certain things. Ask questions. Um, Maybe you can volunteer in helping the workshop. That's another thing that I've done that in the past. I've shown up to workshops and introduced myself to the person running the workshop, and I've told them, if you need any help with anything, let me know. I'm right here. I'm right here. And they'll be like, oh, I can't. Well, it was one workshop that I went to where it was at a bookstore, and the guy had trouble setting up his camera and his he had a television screen that he was trying to get his computer attached to it. And he goes, "Yeah, well, can you fix computers?" And I was like, "Well, I could take a look." And I've done that before, so I took a look and I figured out what happened. I fixed it and it worked. And he was so appreciative. So now I have a connection. Now I've already helped this person. I'm attending his workshop, and it was a good moment. All right, so here are five online platforms that offer networking opportunities. Some of these are no brainers. Some of them maybe you don't know about. Number one is LinkedIn. We all know LinkedIn. It's great for professionals in the business. It's great for connecting for those that are actually doing it. It hasn't been saturated or killed yet, like all the others have. There's still a lot of organic opportunities there on LinkedIn. Get an account, write what you do, and start posting consistently. You can also write a newsletter on there. It gives you a feature for a newsletter. Start a newsletter on what you're doing. Do it monthly. 12 times a year, you're reporting on what you're working on, what you're doing, what you're passionate about, maybe a motivational networking piece, something that you can do. LinkedIn offers all that, and it's in the free package that you can do that. You can pay, which is a little pricey. It's like not pricey, but it could be about $50 a month just to get the whatever they call it, the highest level thing. But there's other levels. I think that's the cheapest one, believe it or not. But if you want to do it, I've done it for like 4 months. I've just paid for it for 4 months and did a lot of stuff on it. And then I take the free, and I do free for a little bit of time, and then I do a newsletter. On newsletter on your own platform. I love that. I was just thinking about my LinkedIn. Good, go there. I have a newsletter comes out every Friday night, and every Friday I have a newsletter that basically just takes one of my older episodes and I write about it, and then I give the link to the episode, and then I show, and then I write about it. So it's a newsletter comes out every Friday. I have about 1,500 subscribers to my newsletter, and I have about over 13,000 members of on my LinkedIn. It's been very great actually. I've met a tremendous amount of people there. Number two is Stage 32 if you're in film. But again, if you're in film, if you're in music, it's good to connect with filmmakers that need original music. I mean, you may do it for nothing, but you'll get your music in a film that's going to be seen by thousands, hopefully, right? Um, and that's the chance that you take, right? So it may be good for musicians to go to and join Stage 32. You can create a free account on Stage 32, and it is that Stage 32. Join there. Number three, the Entertainment Careers Network, the ECN. Entertainment Careers Network. You can join there. There's a lot of resources on there. Number four is the Meetup. Meetup.com. That's for groups that are meeting up and on different things. But there's a lot of film groups that a filmmaker decides to create a meetup, and now they have a connect. They have a meetup on Friday, and every Friday, every other Friday, whatever it is, and you show up to a couple of them and see how it is, and see how organized they are, and see how valuable the tools are. See what you can bring to the table that you can maybe help the group as well. Very important. Number five, and the last one is the Rap Pro, WRAP PRO, the Rap Pro. Join there. There's a lot of resources on there as well. But those are some of the five. There's more. Obviously, there's Backstage. There's Actors Access if you're an actor. There's Casting Networks, which is a little pricey and have a couple of things going on right now that are not that great. But there's a lot of other things that you can join in film. For music. You can join ASCAP. You can join um, a lot of groups on Facebook for musicians, a lot of them on Facebook for your local area. I would join those groups as well. So there's a lot of networking opportunities, but you have to sit down and say, today's my networking day where I'm going to research and find all the places. Remember what I said earlier, find the communication line, just find them. Now you make a list. Okay, I got 20 places here. Now make yourself known in them. and start joining them and start engaging in it. It's work. It's a job, people. It is a job. All right. So let's wrap up here. I want to thank you all for being here. So, beyond career advancement, networking creates a sense of community. The entertainment business can be challenging and unpredictable, making support from fellow professionals especially important. Strong professional relationships provide encouragement, knowledge, and collaboration opportunities that help individuals grow both personally and professionally while navigating the ups and downs of their career. So get out there and network. Refer back to this video if you need it. Take some notes, but message me, johnhenrysoto@gmail.com. If you need it, if you have any questions, if you need any help with anything, I'm here for the time being. I am busy, but I can reply. I am busy, but I can reply. And as time goes on, I become busier and busier. So if you can ask me a question on something and I can help, please take advantage of it and message me, johnhenrysoto@gmail.com. All right, friends, that was a lot of talking for 31 minutes and 50 seconds. I appreciate you being here. I'll connect on LinkedIn. Yes, let's connect on everything we can think of. That would be neat for Substack. So, yes, I should mention that Substack. That's another one, too. Another great platform where you can be a writer and you can put your stuff out there. It's a really good one. Thank you for mentioning that. That was a useful one. All right, friends, thank you very much for tuning in. I appreciate you all for being here. God bless you all. I will see you all tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning's talk is going to be about, let's see, creating opportunities instead of waiting for them. Oh, so we're going to be talking about some creativity stuff. I'll talk about some of the projects that I put together, how I did it, why I did it, and what was the result of doing those. And that'll be tomorrow morning. All right, friends, take care of yourselves. God bless you all. Take care of each other. We're all we've got here, right? And have somebody here, Tamara Ball. So thank you for such valuable information and advice. My pleasure. Thank you so much, Tamara. I appreciate you being here. All right, friends, take care of yourself. See you tomorrow morning. God bless you all. And as always, peace.